Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Be a Boss Coaching. My little hairs are kind of all over the place today, but that's okay. So, I wanted to talk to you today about my why. Why did I start Be a Boss Coaching? And thinking about that why, I I've reflected on the fact that the why has evolved over time for me. It started with the simple need to want to reach a financial goal. I wanted to pay down my student loan debt, which I have been doing, thankfully, slowly but surely. And I wanted to be able to learn how to make my own money. And I think it's so powerful when you learn how to live off what you love to do, when you learn how to create money doing something that you love to do. So I wanted to figure out that for myself, and that came about during the pandemic when I was really taking advantage of the pause on student loan debt and paying down my student loans. And I went to Columbia School of Social Work. Columbia is an Ivy League institution in New York City, so it's very expensive. And what I was making at the time as an administrative manager was just, it wasn't enough. I mean, it was enough to survive, obviously, but I needed an additional stream of income. And I decided to take everything that I had learned about financial literature, financial literacy, around budgeting and saving and investing. I was learning a lot about investing, about credit cards, about paying off debt. I was learning a lot about your financial health, your wealth, your financial life, right? And in all of that, I was like, I feel like I had hit a ceiling in terms of my financial goals and everything that I was learning. I was like, I need to do more. I had opened up a brokerage account. I had looked into my retirement plans, what it was being invested in, how to look at all of the different investments that I had under my employer. And I was saving. I had opened a high yield savings. I did everything. So when I hit that ceiling, I decided to start a business to then learn how to make money, just not from simply receiving a paycheck every 2 weeks from my employer, but learn how to make my own money. And at the same time, I was helping my father with his business, his business back in LA. At the time I was in New York, and I was helping him financially in his business that was back here in California. And all of those things layered up together to come to the idea of starting my own business. And that is my why. That's why I started Be a Boss Coaching naturally as a social worker, as a case manager, as someone that works closely with people and enjoy working with people, helping them reach goals, supporting them, allowing them to learn the power within themselves. Naturally, I found coaching because as a social worker in the mental health field, I had never really looked into coaching or had heard about coaching in the first place. And I looked into it when I had talked to my supportive therapist that I was thinking about starting a business. So it's been now years since that time. And now I can't believe how much I've grown and how much things have grown, how much my business has grown in terms of creating a business, building a business, growing it from what you know and what you're skilled at and what you can do. It's still a challenge, right? To be able to grow in different parts of your business, there are different parts of your business that you really have to take into consideration, especially as a solopreneur. You have to have all of your, you need to be aware of all of the different parts of your business that need to be running properly. And so all of that I learned through doing it, through failing, through making mistakes, and then continuing to do it, and to continuing to have support, and to seek support and find support in all areas through other business mentors, besties, community, my family, my partner, and all of that has evolved into my why. All of everything that I've learned, all of the support that I've gotten, and the privilege to be able to quit my job and work with my dad and spend more time with him now that he's getting older, and learn from his own experience as a business owner has been the gift that I feel very privileged to be able to experience. And all of that has been my why, and that continues to be my why moving forward and working in this business, learning new skills, learning how to edit, how to make videos, how to get in front of a camera, because there was a time that getting in front of the camera was the scariest thing I could ever imagine. And now I do it almost every single day. I go on lives, I do webinars, I make videos, I create a podcast, I create content. So I am putting myself out there all the time. And that version of myself it didn't exist 3 years ago. It was a fearful person who was trying to navigate and figure it all out, while also trying to summon up the courage to do all of these new brave things. So that is my why. My why is my family, me, everything I've learned, and my clients, everything that I get to teach my clients, and everything that I help them achieve and help them see in themselves is my why. And entrepreneurship in general, building a business, an online business, figuring out content, figuring out what your clients like, figuring out what works, what doesn't. It's a journey. And to have support around that is immensely needed. And so that's why I do it. You can take the long road the way that I did. I took a long, long road figuring all of this out on my own until I found the right support. And I'm so grateful that I'm still here. And that is my why. That's it. So thank you for watching. I hope that we get to be friends. And if you're interested in learning more and you'd like to connect, I invite you to send me a DM. Come on over to my beautiful website at beabosscoaching.com. Shout out to my website builder and designer Joe Delgado, who is an incredible person. And I just come in and check out my website, where you'll get to learn more about me. You can look at my other blogs. You can listen to other podcasts, download some freebies, and you can even schedule a call with me. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'd like to know your why, so let me know down in the comments what resonated with you, and I am excited to hear more. All right, have a safe Wednesday, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.